Good morning, everyone. I am Sean George. Today, I am going to discuss with you about the topic computing paradigms. Computing paradigm. Computing paradigm is a technique of linking two or more computers into a network through a local area network in order to take advantage of the parallel processing power of those computers. Next, we can discuss about the different types of computing paradigms. There are different kinds of computing paradigms. They are distributed computing, parallel computing, cluster computing, grid computing, utility computing, and cloud computing. First, we can discuss about distributed computing. Distributed computing is a type of computing where multiple computer systems work on a single problem. Here, all the computer systems are linked together and the problem is divided into sub-problems where each part is solved by different computer systems. Distributed computing is a solution to the problem where your RAM is too small and your data are too big to be processed on a single machine. The goal of distributed computing is to increase the performance and efficiency of the system and ensure fault tolerance. Next, we can discuss about the characteristics of distributed computing. First one, no shared clock. Second one, no shared memory. Third one, concurrency. Fourth one, heterogeneity and loose coupling. Next, we can discuss the functions of distributed computing. The first function is resource sharing. The second one is scalability. Third one, transparency. And the last one, fault tolerance. This is a diagram showing distributed computing. Next, parallel computing. Parallel computing is a type of computing where multiple computing systems are used simultaneously. In parallel computing, a problem is broken into sub-problems and then further broken down into instructions. These instructions from each sub-problem are executed concurrently on different processors. The goal of parallel computing is to save time and provide concurrency. This diagram shows parallel computing. Cluster computing. A cluster computing is a type of computing in which a group of independent computers work together to perform the task given. Cluster computing uses homogeneous machines. In cluster computing, all the machines are connected in a small network. This figure shows the working of a cluster computing. Next one is grid computing. Grid computing is a type of computing where it constitutes a network of computers that work together to perform tasks that may be difficult for a single machine to handle. All computers on the network work under the same umbrella and are termed as a virtual supercomputer. The goal of grid computing is to solve more high computational problems in less time and improve productivity. Types of grid computing. The first type is computational grid computing. Second one is data grid computing. And the third one is collaborative grid computing. Next computing is utility computing. Utility computing is a service providing model in which service providers make computing resources and infrastructure management available to the customer as needed and charges them for specific usage rather than a flat rate. Most cost efficient. The goal of utility computing is to increase the usage of resources and be more cost efficient. This diagram shows how the utility computing works. The last computing is cloud computing. Cloud computing is a type of computing where it is a delivery of on-demand computing services over the internet on a pay-as-you-go basis. It is widely distributed, network-based, and used for storage. Types of cloud computing service. There are three types of cloud computing service. They are first one, infrastructure as a service. Second one, platform as a service. Third one, software as a service. Next is types of cloud. There are three types of cloud there: public cloud, private cloud, and hybrid cloud. This diagram shows the working of cloud computing. That's all about computer paradigms. Thank you.